Hello, SRF Ninja here from soreelflix.com. It's that time in the month again. It's the end of the month of September, and I'm here to share with you everything I bought in the month of September. It's quite a bit. I got a lot of reviews, and I'm going to get straight down into it. First thing I'm going to show you is something I didn't even open yet. Haven't even reviewed. I'm supposed to review it. I'm going to do it tonight, so hopefully, the time you're watching this, you can check out the link right here, and you can see what I think. Hopefully it's good. But that movie it's on DVD only. 37, A Final Promise. I got this from MVD Visual, and we'll see I don't know what it's about. Check my review right here, maybe I liked it. I don't know yet. Next up, getting down to the documentary. It's only like 50-something minutes long. It's Meeting ISIS. The documentary's okay. The guy does get into ISIS territory. He does meet these guys that are in ISIS and everything, so that's pretty cool. It's just an okay documentary. You can check out my review right here. Check it out. Click that link there. But again, I think it's just okay. And again, this is from MVD Visual. Next up, another documentary. This one's a DVD. It's all about punk rock back in the 90s, the 80s and 90s. Throughout that time, it's called Cela Days. This is actually a decent documentary as well. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. You can check out my review right here. Click that link. Click it. Click it. If your annotations aren't on, go down below. Click more, and you can see all my reviews right there and links. You can click all the other cool links there as well. But anyways, this is a decent documentary. If you're into punk, you'll probably like it. I'm not a big punk person, but I actually found it kind of interesting, even though I didn't like some of the music in it. Some of it was actually okay. Next up, on DVD, this is actually a movie. It's called Dog Years. This is actually a pretty cool movie. I didn't know anything of this movie going into it. I thought it was pretty good. It's about these two brothers who living in Japan. They didn't know they were both there, but they find each other, and it's a cool movie. I will definitely check it out. Check out my review right here. Go down below and watch the trailer for it. Maybe you'll like it. I thought it was pretty cool. Give it a shot. This is from MVD Visual as well, and Green Apple. Next up, another DVD. This one's horror. This is from Wild Eye. This is called A Plague So Pleasant. This is actually a decent movie. Check out my review right here. Click that guy. But this is, again, it's about zombies. This is a super low budget movie. It's only made for like $3,000. So in that case, it's actually pretty cool. Actually, some of the concepts in this movie is decent. Like, they had the cemetery for like dead people, but in actuality, it's just zombies walking around. That was their cemetery. That was pretty awesome. But it's just it's an okay movie. What can I say? It's not that bad for $3,000. So check it out. If you're a filmmaker, check it out. See what $3,000 might be able to get you. Next up, another DVD. This is actually a documentary. This is from Exploitation Films. This has 2 features on it. The first one entire set's called Chasing the Muse, and that's the first feature. And it's about this director jumping in front of the camera this time, and he's going around the world, I guess, looking for the perfect lady to star in his next movie. And he's going around banging all these chicks and whatnot. I thought it was decent. I thought the documentary was okay. It's got a lot of nudity in it, but a lot of the leg spreading and insertions and all that crap. It's all blurred out. But the second feature I thought was a lot better. It's from 1975. That feature is called Expedition. Both of these documentaries are in French, so you definitely have to read it. But it was a cool documentary. I'll definitely give this a check. Check this out if you're in good nudity. And also, the second feature has everything in it. You can see all the nudity, insertions, everything in it if you're into that stuff. What male isn't? But definitely check it out. Check out my review right here, see what I think about it. I think there's a trailer on it, so check it out. Next up, from We'll Go USA, The Raid. This ain't the one raid that just came out not so long ago. This is from the 90s, 1991, I think. You can check out my review right here. Just done the review. This is actually a decent movie. I thought it was pretty cool. It's Hong Kong action. It's got a lot of gun violence, some hand-to-hand and sword fights, but it's a comedy based off of a comic book from back in the day. And I thought it was decent. It's got some cool comedy in it. Some of the comedy's over the top, but the action is pretty cool too, from 90s Hong Kong action film. Definitely check out my review. Definitely check it out. I think it was pretty cool. Next up, another We'll Go USA DVD. This is called Venging Fists. Now, some people may not like this. It's way over the top. It's heavy CGI. It's not really CGI like today, but the graphics in it are like cheesy. But this is supposed to be like a Tekken movie, the video game, but it's not really. It stars Sammo Hung as a detective in it, and Yun Bio and a bunch of other guys. The action is very comical because the guy's up up in the air, he kicks one guy, and then he automatically appears on the other side, kicks the other guy. So it's pretty cheesy in that sort of way. If you're looking for like a sci-fi sort of action film that's kind of cheesy, check this out. Check out my review right here. I actually thought it was a decent movie. A lot of people don't like it, but I gave it, I think, a 3 out of 5. I thought it was decent. It's definitely up there, definitely different, and it's got some hoverboards in it. Next up, from We'll Go USA, we're getting down to my Blu-rays now. The Timber. This is a Western film, sort of. It's like artsy Western in a snowy backdrop. And on Blu-ray, this thing looks amazing on Blu-ray. But the movie itself, I didn't really like it that much. You can just check out my review right here. I go into detail on what I don't like about it. It's not all that great, I don't think. Acting was decent in it though, but I just didn't like the story. It was kind of jumbled. The editing wasn't all that great, I don't think. And I wish they would have stuck to the plot more. Most of it was just walking around in a forest. And they meet some people, but it looks really good on Blu-ray is the plus side though. I really enjoyed how it looked. Next up, another We'll Go USA movie. This is Black Hole Thin Ice. This is getting mixed reviews as well, but a lot of people do like it. It's artsy, and it's really cool. You gotta check out my review right here, see what I actually think about it, but visually it looks really good. I love the filming in it. The director was pretty good in this, and I thought the story's pretty decent. It's realistic-like. Definitely check this out and see what it's about. Right here, click that guy. I thought it was pretty cool. Check out the review, give it a shot. Next up, from Arrow Video, Blu-ray, Eaten Alive. Gotta check this out. It's got my man in it, Toby Hooper, the guy who did the Chainsaw Massacre, right? You like that movie, you like horror, right? Same guy right here, but guess who stars in this thing? Robert Englund, you know, Freddy Krueger, very young in this. I like this movie. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. Check out my review right here. Click it. If you're into weird characters and stuff like that, this is definitely for you. It's not scary or anything, but it's got a horror element. It's very rugged and dirty. Check it out. Check out my review. I thought it was cool. Next up, from Arrow Video. Talking about that porn documentary. We're going into something that's almost porn-like, as in a movie. It's called Immortals. Has 4 towels going on it, like short movies, I can say. It's got a lot of nudity in it. A lot of people ain't gonna like this that much. It's artsy, but it does got a lot of nudity in it. I thought it was decent. Check out my review right here. Click that guy. There's one story that was really cool. I really like this one chick who's bathing in virgin blood. That doesn't float your boat, I don't know. Next up, Arrow Video again. Same director as Immortals. This is called The Beast. This one's a really weird movie as well, especially at the beginning. You're looking at some horse schlong slapping around, and it zooms into this female horse. Her vagina's pulsating, and it's like, oh, what the hell am I watching? Very weird, but overall, after it gets past that weirdness, it does have some more weirdness in it, but not like that. But it does deal with horses later on. So if you're looking forward to something like that, check out my review right here, see what I actually think. It gets a little bestiality, I can say, at the ending. Next up, Exploitation. Again, this is a horror movie. This is not really scary or horror. It's got horror aspects or horror elements to it. It's called Children of the Night. Basically, these vampire kids, they're being chased down and killed. It gives you a different view on vampires. It's very weird though, but I thought it was pretty cool. I'll say give it a shot, check it out. I'll check out my review right here. Maybe you'll like it, check out the trailer. I thought it was pretty cool. Alright, next up, getting down to a box set of 4. It's called American Pie. How to get this? I saw the American Pie on TV the other day. I was like, man, it's been a long time since I've seen these movies, so I upgraded my DVDs, which only had 1, and got this. Now, you can only get this box set as an import, but the good thing is, it's region-free on Blu-ray. So if you're a big American Pie fan, check it out. You can get it on Amazon. That's where I got it. And you don't have to wait long-term for long-distance shipping, because the person who imported already has a couple of them there. You can just buy them. But overall, it looks good on Blu-ray, and I highly enjoyed the first 2 are amazing. I love them. Give you the slap in the face kind of deal, like you're embarrassed by what's going on. But I really like this. Pick it up. It's just too bad we don't have it here in the US, but you have to buy them individual. But if you do want just to get the box set, go ahead and import that. Next up, a 2-pack. Not Tupac, a 2-pack. It's horror. It's The Devil's Rejects and House of 1,000 Corpses. Now, I enjoy these movies. They're mediocre, but they're gory. They're fun. My favorite is House of 1,000 Corpses. Even though The Devil's Reject kind of comes off of a House of 1,000 Corpses. The same characters are going around killing people and whatnot. But this is more of a slasher film. More horror aspect, I would say. It's like Chainsaw Massacre-like. But it also has Chris Hardwick, which I never knew who he was in this until I actually figured out who he was. I listened to him on TV and whatnot, but I got this for like $6. Not bad for a double pack, and I enjoy it. Next up, a Blu-ray, Kirk Russell, Dark Blue, boom. Now this is being re-released on Olive Films, but I picked this up for like $6 instead of the $15 Olive Films will be charging for theirs. But this movie is a decent movie. This is the time when the Rodney King, this takes place at the Rodney King beating and all that at the same time, and Kirk Russell's playing a cop who's dirty, and he has a partner who's, clean cop. But they go in, they do some dirty stuff, and it's actually a decent movie. It's actually the same writer from Training Day, so it has that kind of same aspect to it. If you're interested in that type of movie, definitely check it out. Let's get down to my Blu-ray documentary about Chris Farley. I am Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley. I love his movies. And I really enjoyed this documentary. He has a lot of his friends and family in this talking about him and his life, and has a lot of clips from his childhood and all his other stuff. This is pretty good. If you like Chris Farley, definitely check out this documentary. If you don't find it on Netflix, go buy it. I like having it in my collection. Next up, Blu-ray, Christian Slater and Winona Ryder. What? Heathers. This is actually a decent movie. I never grew up watching this, so it doesn't have that, childhood feel to it. So for me, it was just an okay movie, but a lot of people do like it because they grew up watching this back in the day. Overall, it's definitely cool. It's kind of comedy, but more psycho, like I should say. Both of these kids are psycho. It's just weird. But overall, it's a cool movie. Check it out. It's on Blu-ray if you didn't know. Next up, going to horror. Annabella. I finally picked this up because it finally came on sale for like $7.99. I wasn't going to pay the big price because of all the low and mediocre reviews that's got. But I thought it was a decent movie. I would give it a mediocre review, 2.5, 3 out of 5 maybe. It's got some scary parts in it. The story's kind of cool, but overall it's just okay. But I like having it in my collection, sitting next to the Conjuring movies and whatnot. So, hey, check it out. It's on sale. Maybe. Now it's not. I don't know. Next up, brand new, Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Spy. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to get this because Melissa McCarthy, I like her somewhat, but her comedy's over the top. But I did really enjoy this thanks to Jason Statham in this. And Melissa McCarthy's playing it more straight, but more comic things are happening to her. So I thought it was pretty cool, but Jason Statham's part was pretty funny, and I highly enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. If you've seen the movie, type down below what you thought about it. I thought it was pretty cool. Next up, Blu-ray, the movie of Entourage. Boom. Now, if you've never seen the TV show, don't even buy this, because you're not going to really know what's going on. Yeah, you might kind of know what's going on, but a lot of it brings back to the TV show, and a lot of characters are not going to know. It's a cool movie. I enjoyed it. It's not as great as the TV show, but it's cool. It was great seeing all the guys back on the big screen again, and I would probably give this a 3 out of 5. It was pretty decent. Next up, Michael J. White, Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those two in the movie. It's kind of weird, right? But this is called Chain of Command. It's a decent movie. I'm just glad it's on Blu-ray, like Michael J. White's last movie, Blood and Bone, which I really enjoyed. This is not as good as Blood and Bone. The action is cool, but it's not a lot of hand-to-hand action. It's a lot of gun violence in it. And Stephen Austin's playing the bad guy, and of course Michael J. White's playing the good guy. I thought it was a decent movie. If you're a fan of any of those two, definitely check it out. It wasn't that expensive either. It was a decent price. Next up, going to my horror, John Carpenter. Had to pick this up. First time on Blu-ray just came out. Christine. My first time watching it. And I highly enjoyed this. This is actually really cool. The car comes to life. It's killing people. But it's not the love. It's pretty cool. Classic horror. Gotta pick that up. If you don't know anything about it, like I never knew anything about it, I enjoyed it. And you probably will too if you like horror movies. Alright, next up, coming down to my Olive Films, which I got a good bit. It's called Teachers, starring Nick Nolte. But also, who is in this? The kid from Karate Kid. Haven't really seen him in a movie before. He's not like a super main character in there, but he's in it. Overall, it's just a decent movie. It gets mediocre reviews, and I agree, it's mediocre, but it's decent. It's fun. At times, it's about a teacher in a crappy school. The kids are not that great, but they're not evil or anything. It's just the teachers don't really care, or the school system doesn't really care. And it's that type of movie, and it's a decent movie. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of Nick Nolte, because it's definitely a decent movie. Next up, The Last American Virgin, another Olive film. This is a decent movie as well. If you grew up watching this again, you probably like it more than I did, because I thought it was just mediocre. It was decent though. I like the acting in it. The storyline definitely takes me back to the 90s or 80s. And it was cool. If you didn't know it was on Blu-ray, check it out. It's on Blu-ray right now. It's a decent movie. Alright, Alright, next up, another Olive movie. It's called Hollywood Shuffle starring Robert Townsend. Boom! It's actually a pretty fun movie. It's funny. A lot of it's like clips, comedy clips put into a movie. This guy fantasizes about him being like maybe like an actor, a big-time Hollywood actor, or a guy who's reviewing movies and stuff like that, which I like the best out of all the clips they put in this. The guys who are reviewing movies are pretty fun. I like that. And I wouldn't mind seeing someone doing that on YouTube. I thought that was pretty fun. This is a fun movie, actually, and it has a lot of the Wayans brothers in it. It has Keenan Wayans in it, and someone, who else is in it? There's another Wayans brother, but I forgot. But definitely a cool movie, Hollywood Shuffle. I never seen this before, never knew anything about it. I picked it up on a whim, and I enjoyed it. It's mediocre, but it's enjoyable. Next up, another Olive film. Had to pick them up because they're on sale. Cooley High. Boom. This is actually a cool movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot. It's about these kids in the urban life, I guess. They're going, it's cool. Cooley High is a high school, but it's not really about high school life. I mean, they're in school, but they're out doing their things. They're getting into trouble. They're talking to girls and whatnot. And the ending, it's like kind of sad. Check it out. Definitely a cool movie. I enjoyed this. It's a 1975 movie, too. 1975. It's older than me. Cool movie. Definitely check it out. Another, getting down to my Kino films. Got this one's called, it's with Michael Dudikoff, you know, the guy from American Ninja and whatnot. I had to get this because he's in this. It's called The River of Death. This is just an okay movie. It's mediocre. A lot of these movies are mediocre, but sometimes they do surprise me. But this was just okay. Michael and his character, he's not a big, martial artist. He's a big gun guy, I guess. But overall, it's a decent movie. I thought it was pretty cool. If you're a fan of Michael, definitely check it out. Next up, had to get this because my man Steve McQueen was in it. The Reavers. And if you want to know what the definition of that is, you can check out the movie. They actually explain it. But I highly enjoyed this. I think it only gets mediocre reviews, but I really enjoyed this because I like Steve McQueen, and I thought the story was pretty cool. Steve McQueen is taking care of this kid, and they actually got this car. It was the first car they ever had in their community. It was their boss's, and they steal it. As their boss is away, they steal the car. Steve McQueen's taking care of this kid. He goes off to this brothel. He's living in his brothel with this kid. The story comes from there. It keeps on going. I thought it was really cool. If you're a big Steve McQueen fan, definitely check this out. It's a cool movie for a Kino collector. You gotta have it. It looks decent on Blu-ray too. Next up, had to get this because of Lee Van Cleef. Vaquero. Boom. This is a decent movie. I actually enjoyed it. It's a Western film. It's a cool movie. Lee Van Cleef is playing this guy who owns this like boat thing, and he drives across this stream, and overall it's got some cool shootouts. It's a really cool movie. I enjoyed this. It gets mediocre reviews, but for me it's a little bit more than mediocre. Next up, Yul Brynner. Had to get this. I've never seen any of his movies, or maybe I have. I just don't remember. Maybe I have some in my collection here, but this is another Western film here. It's called Invitation to a Gunfighter. This movie I really liked, and I like Yul Brynner's character in this. He does a really good job. I highly enjoyed this, actually. I definitely would give this a check. Check this out if you're a big fan of Yul Brynner. I look forward to picking up some more of his movies. I enjoyed that. It's another Kino movie. Another Kino movie coming up. It's starring Vincent Price. It's my first Vincent Price movie. It's called Madhouse. Had to get this. This is actually a cool movie. I enjoyed it. Vincent Price is playing this guy who doesn't really remember things. He's like, all these people around him are getting killed. And Vincent Price's character is a movie star. He's playing a whore. Like some guy is going around killing people in the movies, but the people around him are dying just like the people in his movie, so he's not sure if he's doing it right, so he's going crazy a lot. But hey, check out this movie if you're interested, if you want to see if he was actually killing people or not. It's a cool movie. Definitely check that out. Another Kino film. Defiance. Had to pick this up because it sounds cool. I read it online what the movie is about. And I was like, hey, this seems like something I like. I have a couple of movies just like this where this guy, he's in this neighborhood and you got some troublemakers in that neighborhood. It's actually a gang, but they're picking on all the people that live there. And of course, this guy doesn't have a lot of fighting techniques. He just picks up weapons and stuff and beats the shit out of people. But he stands up for the community and he takes it over at the end, of course. And I love it. It's a pretty cool movie. I thought it was pretty cool. You gotta definitely check it out if you're into that type of movie. I enjoyed it. From Kino. Alright, getting down to my last two movies, which are steelbooks. First one up is Furious 7. I like the looks of it. It's pretty glossy and the artwork's pretty cool, but inside there's no artwork, it's just plain metal. it's cool. I'm a collector of steelbooks, so I got the steelbook. But the movie itself, some people are like, it sucks, but I really liked it. It's getting a lot of good reviews, too. I thought it was pretty good. The story of it, yeah, of course it's over-the-top action, but I like that stuff. It's a popcorn flick. It's entertaining, so leave all this stuff behind and enjoy the fights. I mean, Tony Jaa's in this as well. Gotta pick this up. If you have the other movies, Fast and Furious movies, you gotta add it to your collection. It's pretty cool. And the steelbook's not that bad either. Sold out, by the way. Can't have it. Next up, last but not least, I should say, another steelbook. Mad Max Fury Road. Awesome movie. Huge action scenes. Vast action scenes, I should say, or scenery. A lot of 20 cars flying down the desert there. They're battling it out. And it's all real, too. So that's what's more amazing. Of course, Tom Hardy is Max in it, but he's not really the main character. It's Charlize Theron, the female lead, she's the main character in it, and I highly enjoyed it. It was a really cool movie. I definitely recommend picking this up if you haven't seen it yet. And steelbook is pretty cool. I like the steelbook. It's actually got artwork on the inside. It's awesome. Gotta have that. Alright guys, that's it. That's everything I bought in the month of September. It's a lot of movies. A lot of movies I reviewed. There's like 13 or 14 movies. It's a lot that I had to do a review for. But hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to come back again for my October roundup. What kind of movies will I buy? Maybe it's more horror movies. Who knows? I usually tend to buy more horror movies in October. So we'll see when that comes up at the end of October. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, dislike, whatever. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to check out soreelflix.com. I'm doing movie giveaways. You can find all those cool links down below. If you don't have your annotations on, just click show more. You have all my review links. You have soreelflix.com there. Alright guys, thanks for viewing. Come back again. Ninja out.